Tonight, a special exclusive report on the last Jane Doe. The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office has spent 3 years trying to solve a mystery, and now they're looking for your help to find answers. This week, we take an in-depth look into the investigation into the only Jane Doe left to be identified at the Sheriff's Office. SNN Local News 6 reporter Mia McCormick has part 1 of this report.
We're afraid that the only individual that knew she was here is the individual that put her here.
Lieutenant Skip Wood has spent his last 27 years at crime scenes. He and his partner, forensic technician Maxine Miller, have worked on hundreds of dead bodies. They've brought closure to the families of every single one. But this one. She's the last Jane Doe on record at the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office, the only one whose identity remains a mystery. And that's what haunts Lieutenant Wood.
It is exceptionally frustrating for us. We revisit this case quite often.
On February 6, 2007, Wood and Miller unearthed the body of a woman from a 3-foot hole in a wooded area off Ashton Court. The pocket of woods is bordered by industrial buildings on all sides. They had to fight raccoons off the spot when they arrived, and the body was already partially decomposed. Wood and detectives on this case believe whoever buried her here already knew this spot existed.
This is not your normal homicide scene. This is an area that someone has obviously taken great care to obfuscate the fact that there's a body here.
Carefully sifting through layers of dirt, Wood and Miller discovered the woman lying on her side. She wore a cotton shirt with an Italian label, a skirt with a unique leather belt made of straps, and 2 pairs of socks.
She was wearing a pair of socks, no shoes, which is another indication that she was not out in the woods walking around. Someone took her, carried her out there, basically.
Miller has worked on 5 cases involving buried bodies in her 9 years with the Sheriff's Department. Like the others, she believed this one would be solved in a matter of weeks. 3 years later, her initial questions remain, along with a list of new ones. During an autopsy, District 12 medical examiner Dr. Russell Vega discovers trauma to Jane Doe's body, including skull fractures consistent with being struck by a blunt object. Detectives are now seeking her identity and a possible killer. Dr. Vega searches for avenues that might lead him to her name.
If we don't have that person, we're really backed into a corner in terms of trying to make an identification.
Her x-rays are more promising. Dr. Vega finds breast implants and extensive dental work. He notes it's obvious this woman was well taken care of. Tracking down the implant manufacturer leads to a dead end. The surgery took place before the implants were serialized. Dr. Vega did obtain a good DNA sample and dental workup, but has no records of any possible matches to compare them with.
And if we don't have that person, we're really backed into a corner in terms of trying to make an identification.
Over the following weeks and months, detectives canvass the area. They obtain a facial reconstruction from the FBI and create flyers. No one remembers the woman or anything suspicious. They travel out of state to follow up on leads, but so far have come up dry. Even after 3 years, this team refuses to give up.
I think that we will eventually find out who she is. I do believe that.
For now, Jane Doe waits in a drawer, in a room where the temperature is always freezing. She spent the last 3 years inside these stainless steel walls, waiting for someone to figure out who she is and how she died. Mia McCormick, SNN Local News 6.
Friday, in the second part of our exclusive report, the investigation takes us to Gainesville, where anthropology experts are involved in this case. And that's tomorrow here on SNN Local News 6, and you can also check out Mia's report in Friday's Herald-Tribune.